what's surprising about this new album is that you have four vocalist parts, and also, of course, is the return of Christopher Rick on two of the songs, your original singer. So, first of all, how was having him back and working with him again?
It was just amazing. Shortly, it was just really cool. I mean, we have been friends for since he left the band back in the 90s, and I've always been a huge fan of his work since then. So when he, when we agreed to that he was, contribute with some vocalized, some vocals on the song, I was just happy. I mean, he's so professional. It's quality all the way. It's no compromise. It's just quality, and it's just a pleasure to work with quite frankly.
Right. And how do you choose which two songs he's gonna collaborate with? Did you write those songs for him specially for him to sing?
No, not really. But because I wrote these songs before he joined the band.
Yeah.
He joined, he did his recording. But actually, when I remember back, when I wrote those songs, I remember especially on the song "Feminist."
Yeah.
I remember his part he's singing. I was like, this would be cool with Garm. So I was like thinking, having it in the back of my mind, but it wasn't agreed. We hadn't, agreed on anything and planned it or something like that. But I just had a feeling in the back of my head that, all right, Garm should go to opera on this part.
Oh, good.
With the title song, with the choice, especially this acoustic theme in the beginning of the song, was like, okay, this is something old school stuff, but God should do something here. So it was like, and then a few months after, I sent him a text message, and he was like really into the stuff, and so that's just brilliant. So it wasn't written for him really, but at the same time, I had him, in my mind when writing this in some way.
Yeah.
But I mean, if he couldn't join, or if he didn't want to join to do the vocals, we would have done these songs with other vocals, of course. But he actually did it at the end of the day. It was perfect, and all the the pieces of the puzzle came together somehow. Definitely.
Great. You know, on the press note for this album is mentioned that Winter Tries covers all the 2 decades of the band. You know, like that you can hear all you have done this more than 20 years now. And actually, listening to the album, you can get that. Now, having him Christopher back as being him being your first singer, do you actually believe that this Winter Tries covers all that you have done this more than 20 years?
Yeah, because that's kind of the way I'm working in a way. Because I always want to progress music. Was wanting, like I said further and challenge myself to music and listening and everything. I think that's very important to keep the music alive. I mean, there is something to play live on stage, but I think music should also be kept alive in the studio in terms of progressive and being evolving and stuff like that. So, but equally important is to keep on. I don't want to make an album that just is something totally different and something totally new. I want to do something new, but I want to kind of still keep on the musical roots of the band. I want the new album, the Little Twice album, to be a part of a musical story, not a huge, but a long musical history. I mean, we have done 10 albums. We have been doing this for 20 years, something like that. And I want this album to be a part of that. So I always use references to previous albums, like we have an album called Universal, but we also have a song called Universal on the Arcade Court, for example. We also, have Winter Tries. It's also something we have from the song, actually, Dawn of the End on the old main album.
Yeah.
And those things are something I always do. Not because I want to repeat myself, but in some way I want to keep musical history alive. So I think this new album should be a part of something bigger than just this album. It should be a part of the whole musical history of the band. So that's kind of the reason why I always try to capture all our musical flavors in the album somewhere. I try to boil everything down. What made Quint Assis a good album? What made the Arcade Course a good album? What made not necessarily the riffs or the sound or the production, but what made what kind of spirit was what kind of feelings was important on that album. And that's something I want to keep on with me into the new album. And I've always kind of been working like that in some way, but on this album we have maybe done a little bit more than before, maybe. But that suits perfectly fine because this is time travel we are doing, and been around for 20 years and stuff like that. So it's the stars are aligned for us. Almost like a contributed, yeah, yeah, contribute album to yourself in some way, maybe. Yeah.
Okay, and the song "The Rhymes of the Mountain" was the first song that we could hear from this album. It has a lyric video and
Mm-hmm.
everything, and I think this song is quite personal for you, right? Because as you grow in the mountains, so the song is about it.
Yes, it is actually different. One case, important thing is, of course, all country. I mean, I've grown up on the countryside, and my
Yeah.
backyard was a mountain. I mean, I was raised on by the mountainside, and my father was always a mountain walking to the mountains every weekend, stuff like that. And I've spent a lot of my youth in the forest, in the mountains, stuff like that. So for me, that has a kind of existential importance of some sort. I mean, I'm always attracted to the mountains. There's no why really. I don't. Just a feeling being on the mountain to look everywhere and the great view, and at the same time feeling cold, chilling winds and stuff like. You feel so alive in a different way. I mean, any drugs can compare to that. I mean, being on a mountainside with the blood taste in your mouth and being striving for hours to get on this mountainside. That feeling is just something very special to me and very kind of unique. Nothing can kind of assemble that in any other way, or nothing can. I can't get that feeling in any other way than actually going to the mountains. So to speak. That's a personal thing, but also actually, that's also part of the story because my father, the last 5 months now, has been
Yeah.
really, really sick. So and to me, this been just recently a huge operation and stuff like that. So that has been brutal stuff. Life is brutal, and to me, it's also a kind of emotional side to it because this song, in many ways, makes me think of him.
Right.
Not just on the mountain, but he had been, he's also now lately been walking his own personal mountain to be able to survive, yeah, to get back to life somehow. So it also has a very kind of emotional personal side for me, definitely, yeah.
Great. Before you mentioned that you wanted Winter Tries to not be only that album, but to be part of something bigger. And are we
Mm-hmm.
talking about maybe having a continuation in the future, like having a Winter Tries part two or something like that?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I don't know. I haven't really, for the first time, I haven't really started to work. Usually I started to work on music. I mean, when we release a new album, I usually have started to work on the next album.
Yeah.
That has always been my way of working. But this time, because I'm now rebuilding my studio and I have my studios down, and I kind of building a proper studio now in my garden, so I haven't been able to sit down and work too much. I have to work physically with building this studio first. So I haven't really this time around. I haven't made too much of a thought about the next step, the next album so far. Maybe it will happen. Maybe not. Probably not. But we'll see just what happens. I'm not sure. And that's kind of important to me because because when I want to be, when I'm creative, when I write songs and stuff, it's more important for me to feel independent, to be able to do whatever I want to do. I don't want to feel obligated towards, the fans or the labels or the other musicians in the band for that sake. I mean, I just want to be able to do whatever I want to do musically, and that's very important feeling to keep. So we'll just have to see how things evolve, I guess.
Great. This is the 10th album for Borknagar. Do you consider Winter Tries to be an easy listening album for fans that are already used to your sound? Or do you think that this 10th album also challenges listener of that already have heard albums
Yeah,
of you?
yeah. I can't be inside the head of all fans. That's impossible. But I would think that I think there was a lot of fans that will like this album because it's not that different from the previous album. It's still keeps the same somehow style, but at the same time, of course, I'm there was some things we have done. I mean, the vocals Christopher William have done, and the songs is in a way quite different from usual black metalish band, if you get my point.
Yeah.
So, I never know. I mean, maybe some of our conservatives will think that it's too much, too far out, maybe. I don't know. But that's that's the way I like it. I think that people, for fans, at least the loyal fans that have been listening to the band for a long while, I think they kind of expect the unexpected, and I think that's the part of the game with that.
All right. And you have 8 tracks on this album, right? Were there any song that were left apart because it wasn't that good enough, or because you have too much material for the album?
No, not for this session. I mean, I own some material that I never used, but not really, not finished songs or anything like that.
Yeah.
But we have actually there will be a ninth song on the bonus, on the limited version of the CD, and also on the vinyl version. There will be another song called "Dominant Wind."
Yeah.
And that's a quite special song, really, because that was, Andreas was in this accident last year, and was really injured and stuff like that. So that song was the first song he was able, to sing again when he was like recovering and stuff like that. That was the first song he was, did vocals on and recorded, the clean vocals and green vocals and everything. So that's kind of a really bit special song because that kind of represents, Andreas coming back to life again somehow.
Yeah.
So that's special song. That will be included on the vinyl version of the album. It's also the limited, digipack of the album. So yeah, so in some versions you will get 9 songs.
Okay, so the band has been through a lot of lineup changes since the 90s, right? But do you see the change of lineup as something that, well, when a musician leaves the band, maybe takes a part of the band with him, or do you see it as with someone new on the band, you gain something more?
Yeah, that's the first couple of, in the early days, we pretty much started out with a project. So I was in the first album, I was the only serious guy in the band, really. The other guys were just involved because they, had the time and wanted to join. I thought there was cool music and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So in the first couple of years, it's more, I would say, that the musical selection, just thing has to go through this. We had to find members that was actually wanted to really wanted to be in the band and all that stuff. That was kind of natural evolution, I would say, in many ways. But yeah, when people quit, I always try to. It's always it's always I can say in many ways negative people quit because there's friendship involved. We had great memories together and stuff like that. So there was always something pity in many ways, but I always try to change it to something positive.
Yeah. Good.
I guess that my kid coming and say good night. And so I always try to changes to me in my life in general. So well, is something positive. I mean, that's I guess the course of life, the course of nature, everything. I mean, changes is necessary to to progress. And I think, of course, it's a pity when it quits the band. It's always because personal relationships and everything. But I always try to focus on the positive side with a new member, with new some things, with new skills, with new everything. It's also always to me, it's always a step forward in some stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Well, just to finish the interview, one more thing. I think the only scheduled show for Borknagar on next year is back in open air. At least that's what I found. Are you doing more shows next year, or are you doing a proper tour?
Yeah, we are right now. As far as I know, I'm not dealing with this personally, but Jens specifically is dealing with the live. So we're currently discussing your 12-day European tour in March.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it will happen or not. But it feels like it. I'm not sure really at this moment. We're just now discussing it. And then we also have booked a couple of war festivals like Graphic Pop in I think it's Belgium or something. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
And then we are doing with Full Force, as far as I know. And we are doing Wacken, and then I think we are doing another one as well. I don't remember the Full Force. Yeah, at least those three. And of course, we are discussing this tour in March. So we'll see.